Right now, we're 15 in the room. I think we can start now. So, habol na lang yung iba. Yung mga iba pang natitirang water. Kasi kapag in-inject mo na siya in gas chromatography, bawal yung water, masisira yung content. Okay? So, meron itong mga negative effects like diabetic, smooth muscle relax. So, yung smooth muscle relaxant, okay lang siya, pero cardiac stimulant siya and vasodilator. So, yun yung mga medyo kailangan natin iwasan. So, these are being monitored sa production of chocolate all over the world.
Analytical chemistry. Right? So materials, you make something, you test the properties of that material, and then you try to find applications for it. But food is one way of looking at food is that it's a material. Diba? Kanina binabit ko kay Dr. J. Natawag ko, different kinds of food are also materials, and this is big. So, is one of our faculties working in nanomaterials. So, we look at the second one, carbon nanoducts, no? Carbon nanoducts.
Beginning with carbohydrates. These are the simplest forms, so we're going to start here, and then we go to proteins, and then we move on from there. Okay. Now, the outline and PowerPoint are already in Canvas, and please go over them before you come to class. But anyway, I hope you went over the chapter, and so I'm going to discuss everything in detail, but we're going to get help from a few things that were uploaded there. Okay, the outline is already there, so it tells the outline tells you how we're going to move from one topic to another. Okay, now let's begin. Carbohydrates. These are molecules that we associate. Oh, thank you. Okay. These are molecules that you normally associate with production of energy. We're told that if you're going to run a marathon tomorrow, maybe today, you should load on carbohydrates. Okay. Anyway, what happens when you take it that you can associate with their existence in cells? Okay. Chemically, the definition of a carbohydrate is you have a molecule that is a polyhydroxyaldehyde or a polyhydroxyketone or any substance that will produce these compounds when they are hydrolyzed. Hydrolysis is a term that we use to refer to a reaction where a long molecule or a big molecule is cut into pieces by a specific chemical reaction. Okay, we'll call that reaction in general hydrolysis. It's going to be a reaction you're going to encounter a lot in this course. Anyway, for now, say I'm starting with a very, very long chain consisting of very small building blocks which should be put together. And I want to get back those building blocks. I will carry out a reaction called hydrolysis. And this is a very common chemical reaction that happens in cells. When you load on carbohydrate, you eat rice, you eat bread, the carbohydrate there is eventually hydrolyzed by the enzymes in your system to yield glucose, and glucose is further processed. Okay, so these are the D monosaccharides. Actually, you can theorize and make cell carbons. Some heptoses are known, but they sort of are converted into smaller molecules like 3 carbon, 4 carbon. So let's just stop at the 6.
Good job. Are you ready to start your mission? Perfect. Then First, find a lab coat. Click on it to put it on. Now pick up the safety goggles and you are ready to go. Click on the door to enter the laboratory. This lab was used by first-year chemistry students and they obviously didn't leave it in the safest condition. Have a look around and identify the different hazards. Find 5 safety hazards and click on them. That's it. Identify the hazards by clicking on them. For sure, chemicals need to be stored in designated cupboards and not just placed on the floor. If they break, they could light a fire and the explosives next to them would certainly produce a bombastic news story. Click on the bottles to remove them. Let's get rid of this safety hazard. Click on the cluttered workbench to tidy it up. Oh dear, this workbench is a real mess. Hopefully, you will never see something like this in a real lab. Oh, have a look at this. There is a bacteria colony growing on this agar plate. This might be some dangerous pathogen. We need to use a special bin for biological waste. Discard the petri dish with the unknown bacterial sample in the biohazard waste bin. There is still a protocol from a previous experiment on the table. Clean up the lab protocol. Oops, you just spilled a hazardous chemical. Have a look at the hazard symbol on the beaker. What does the hazard symbol on the beaker mean? Brilliant. This is a corrosive chemical. We are dealing with either an acid or a base. You can use a pH indicator to figure out what it is. You only need a tiny drop of the indicator. You can use a micropipette for this. Pick up a pipette tip from the box. Draw up a drop of the indicator liquid. Now add a drop to the spill to identify if it's an acid or a base. Fantastic. When you added the indicator liquid to the spill, the drop turned red. This means the spilled chemical must be a strong acid. First, discard the tip in the trash bin and put the pipette back on its holder. Pick up the baking soda. Put baking soda on the spilled solution. Well done. Now put the neutralizer back on the shelf. Now it is safe to use absorbent paper to clean up the spill.